Good morning, Comms Club. I've got the Christmas jumper on today. It's all a bit festive in my house, and I'm excited to deliver day 2 of the 12 days of Commsmas. Now, today is another quick tip that will help you make sure your communication lands perfectly this season. And when I am asked time and time again, what is the one thing that I could do to make my communication better? What is the one improvement I could make? What's the one thing you would encourage people to do differently if they wanted to be more clearly heard and understood? It's always the same answer. The one thing that will make an immediate difference to how your communication lands and is understood is to slow down. Now, I know life is a fast pace, we live in a busy world, but honest to goodness, if you can find a way and challenge yourself to just slow your speech down, just from 5th gear to 4th gear, ideally right down into 2nd gear, it will make such a difference on the impact that your words have, the clarity you deliver in your message, and actually the connection you get when you communicate with someone. And there's a number of reasons that slowing down your speech just a little bit will really help you. The first thing is to remember, when we hear information for the first time, our brain is trying to do 4 things with that new piece of information. It's got to hear it, it's got to understand the words, it's got to process the meaning of the words, and then it's got to react. So that's what you are asking your husband, wife, child, work colleague, boss, person in the street, person on the end of the phone. That's what you're asking them to do with the information that you are sharing with them. You're asking them to find the time to do 4 things. Listen to the words that you're saying, understand what the words mean, process what it is that you are saying by using those words, and then react. Either agree, understand, respond, laugh, cry, answer, whatever the reaction is that you need to get from your piece of communication. So everybody is trying to do that with the information that you are communicating. The problem is when you speak at speed, you don't allow people the time to process that information. So they might get time to hear you, they might get time to understand the words, they might even get time, if you're not too fastly spoken, to process what you're saying. But the point at which they would have time to react, respond, decide how they feel about what they've just heard, you've moved on to the next sentence and you deny them the opportunity to do that. So if you've ever been in a situation where you think you've been crystal clear, you've told somebody something you wanted them to know, you thought you expressed it in a really clear, thorough way, and yet as soon as that conversation is over, they cannot remember what it is they're supposed to do, or they can't remember the detail of what they've just heard, I would put a big chance that that is simply because you spoke too quickly. You moved on to the next sentence, the next piece of information, before their brain could listen, understand, process, and react. So if you want to be clearly heard and understood, and you want to connect with the person that you're speaking to, slowing it down will allow you to do that. Now, there are other benefits of speaking slightly slower as well. It gives you the opportunity to do 3 things. It gives you the opportunity to be heard more clearly by the person you're speaking to. It gives you time to think as you speak. And actually, the third gift of slowing your speech down just a touch is that it gives you the opportunity to hear yourself speak. Sometimes, as soon as we slow down a little bit and we listen to what it is we're actually saying, we realise how confusing we are. Or you may have got to the end of a conversation and thought, actually, now I've said it out loud, it doesn't make any sense. Or you might get to the end of a sentence and think, actually, now I've said all that, I do know what I've got to do. That's not because a small miracle happened in the background. That's because you spoke slowly enough to allow your brain time to hear what you're saying, understand the words that you're using, process what it is you're actually saying, and then react or respond to it. So slowing down your speech helps you in a number of ways. The other gift of slowing down just a touch when you speak is that it stops you being lazy. When we speak fast, we get lazy with our speech. We have lazy lips. We don't use all of our lips to pronounce our words, to finish our words. And so we get sloppy. We start to drop the end sound of a word. And therefore, there is a risk that you merge all your words into one long, jumbled noise. And it's not fair to ask the person that you're speaking to try and decipher what it is you actually said because you were lazy in pronouncing your words. If they are working on trying to interpret what you said, I can guarantee they won't be processing what it is you're saying, and they won't have time to react to it accordingly. So what you're saying is probably losing impact and becoming unmemorable. So when you slow down, your words are likely to be more well pronounced. You are going to use your lips to sound out and show the shape of every word, which helps somebody hugely to understand what you're saying, because not only are they listening to the words, they're actually also likely to be watching your mouth. And if you mumble your way at speed through sentences, the chances are they're not going to have a clue what you've said. If you slow them down, pronounce your words well, sound out the words using your lips, you will find that they are 100% more likely to hear what you're saying, understand it, process what you mean by saying it, and react accordingly. And therefore the connection, the enjoyment, and the effectiveness of your communication is likely to skyrocket this season. So, top tip number 2 is one of the most valuable tips I could share with you. Slow your communication down. You're welcome. I will see you back here for day 3, not in my Christmas jumper, but I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Okay, bye for now.